Okay, so you can keep your eyes open, your eyes closed, however you feel. I ask God if He will have His shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic records so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay, so your records are open. Um, Interesting. The imagery that comes through is you in a triangle, sitting in a triangle, and people pushing people away from you, protecting you from different angles, as if nobody really can get to you or get to you in any way. In other words, it's like a protection, an imagery of being in a triangle. Uh, wow, the energy is so powerful. Wow. So father figure comes through. Father, your father, I think, father figure, communicating with, showing you something on on a sandy beach, on sand itself. So it seems as if it shows your father didn't want you to understand this information too much, as if he was apprehensive of you learning about it or pushing you away from it. Looks like, I don't know, military or something. I don't know if he was in the military or something with a soldier. Looks like he was as a soldier. And I see him holding like a pointing stick, a stick that he's pointing with to show either maneuvers or show you like he's teaching a lesson on something historically. Like he has a pith helmet on, one of those sand helmets. It's funny, he comes through with in music, playing him music, like playing an accordion, something with music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. He plays the piano accordion.
Accordion, that's what I saw. The accordion. Playing in a bar or playing with people around him. And and he has his foot on the bench, like it's higher than the other foot. And he's
He's
playing.
so annoying. He always used to have his foot on a bench and tap it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
wink at me, wink at me
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
the time. I used to find it so annoying. Wow, this
Yeah,
is
but
very good.
he's like a jolly person, filled with
Yeah,
energy.
he's very charming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a charming man. Like I see him dancing like this with his hands flopping
Mm.
or moving like that. That could be the accordion. I saw the accordion. Um, he's one of your daughters is close to him, or maybe it's you as a child, but I see a daughter that is close to him, has a connection to him. Um, one of your children, a small, maybe the youngest girl. Um, yeah, that's. I see a strong figured mother, uh, like battling it out with, not battling it out, but like butting heads at times, butting heads, hitting heads with one another for you. And it's as if you went into another world. You spun out of this world in some way, uh, like a spinning motion, like in the embryo, where I see you into the stars, into the planets, and as if they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to arrive. Um, I see the Nefertiti hat, the crown around your head or around someone. And a cow, the cow or ox, the ox. The hieroglyphic triangle. Okay. That's what I get without questions. So,
Are you asking me questions or I ask you
no, you
questions?
ask me questions. If you have questions, maybe that you already have answers to, but things you want to know that you
So
haven't asked anyone.
when he was pointing, was he facing me or facing you, or
Who
did
was
he
that?
look up when my father, when he pointed with his stick?
He pointed to the right side of him. His right,
Yeah.
with an open, very strong arm, open, almost like a board. But he was diagramming, showing a diagram of something on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And
The
you were very, and I see you small, very small, looking at him. But you also have that feisty personality yourself, that begging for knowledge. It's almost you're sitting with the adults and knowing more than they know, and knowing and at their level, even when you were maybe 4 or 5. That's what it looks like, 5 or 6.
yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and you knew, you looked up to the planets and said, "You're from there." And your father said, "Where?" And you pointed where, or pointed somewhere, and he pointed also there or somewhere, or something that was a distraction, as so as not to really address what you were asking. Um, yeah.
Wow, you really nailed it. It's just so the ox, the cow, has presented yesterday, the black one, 3. 3 is very 3 is the 3 wise ones, the 3 kings. If we have a lot of ET contact, a lot is represented in 3. If we have the white car people turn up, it's always 3. We've had ghosts where there's 3 men in the house. It's the 3.
It's
We've
also
been on. Yeah, they come with gifts.
okay. So it's
Oh,
also the
great gifts.
3 points of a crown I see as well, the top and the 2 sides
Yeah,
coming together. That that's why I see a crown,
yeah.
or I see it
It's
point.
like
Yeah.
they get usually they get called in, the 3, through other circumstances. So not yesterday, the day before, we had the 3 black cows, the strayed from the herd, and they showed me that it's herd, her too. He's 2.
Oh,
Cow is moo, anu moo. Moo is the lost city, which I've just found out. I never knew what Mu was. Mu can be represented as Lumeria, but Mu is Emu. Emu is the Australian ostrich, which is the Milky Way. The Milky Way is lactation. It's the memory. It's eternal. It's the eternal leak of the two mounds, the two peaks, the two pyramids, the two realms. This is why they do mounds through all of America and the Mayans. This is about the peak. Emu is what the indigenous here call the Milky Way. Emu is mu. The indigenous, one of the oldest cultures here on the land, their bloodline, and they've been trying to tell me emu for so long, and you've just confirmed it as well. Emu is mu. It's being mu. Being mu. They said, we're only looking at the stars. You need to look at the dark spots. And this is what the Indigenous of Australia do. They look in the stars, but the shape of the emu is also the dark in the
Yeah.
stars when you look up at the Milky Way.
When you
And
say
I've
it,
never,
I see Saturn
yeah,
as the
yeah,
midpoint of a dot, some dot connecting something there. When you speak about that,
yeah,
Saturn comes through. The rings of Saturn come
yeah,
through.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn is where we a lot. Saturn is the father, and so is Jupiter. They've been given many dark names for understanding, but if you keep going before this, this is where the hydrogen water comes from. The day, the sort of month I met Richard, they sent out, they knew, they sent out the space probe Cassini with that's when they left. So once Richard and I, we met, and it was like a confirmation, 97. They sent out the space probe with the ones because they knew that their time would come to an end here. The day I met Neff, within a couple of weeks of that, was the first pictures from Saturn of Earth, which is blue, a blue dot. And they call it the day Earth smiled, because it can see itself. And my nickname through most of my life was Smiley.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Richard's oversoul called us all in through the blue light, through the blue dot,
Right.
same dot that Earth looked like. So we knew the calling to come again, but it wasn't a calling where we had a choice either. It was, once you see the blue, it's like the Matrix where you see the pill, you take the pill, it's very hard to go back.
Yes. Yes. I understand.
It's like you've seen it, you're already on the journey here. So imagine seeing the blue dot, and then before you had time to pack, you're already gone. This was
Well,
probably the most challenging part for all the family members, because you just have to go. Well, so you have to go with it. You're already getting pulled.
yeah, I see that. That's exactly what I see. See you in a ship with your husband as a family, all of you
Yeah.
sitting in a ship and being directed where to
Yeah.
go. And he's sitting to the left of you, and you're to the right. Uh,
Yeah.
and you're
Very
telling
hard though, being
you're telling him
told
to
where to go.
yeah, I can imagine. You're telling him to relax. He's more nervous than you are, and you're assisting him in some way. He's not voicing it that way, but he is more nervous in when it came to that, even though it may not look that way. He shows composure. But
Um,
your father
but
is your father's in the background as well in some capacity, sitting in the back of everything and
mm, he
watching.
paces
Yeah, yeah, okay, paces. Yeah,
like a march
yeah, yeah,
because he's military. Air Force. He used to train German Shepherd dogs, so he can speak I think 6 or 7 languages: German, Russian, Arabic, French,
yeah.
Greek, Italian. But he also speaks a lot of the Arabic languages as well, like Turkish, Lebanese. Yeah. So this is interesting because he was very charming. Um, but you mentioned our name. You mentioned that he didn't want me to know this information. This is my name. My maiden name is Hutton, which is Hutan, which is the Great Whale Museum in Egypt. That's the name.
Wow.
It means to hide. That's what this name means to hide. And when he came from New York, he lived in Ohio. So he was in Egypt. They had a war. He got split up from his family. He got fostered with his brother in New York and then to Ohio. And when they came on the boat, they had to change their Arabic name to a name that the Australians would feel comfortable saying. This is what they did with a lot of the ethnic people. And so when he came, him and his brother changed their name to Hutton to
Oh,
hide. So
is it what
you couldn't have said so much on this. This is so
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like you've
absolutely.
opened up my family album.
Yeah, that's what came through. The information for the family comes through.
This my mother is mother was childlike. She's Piscean, so she's the youngest of the star beings, and she has red hair.
Yes.
Yeah, she's bright red hair, white skin, and I was the only blue-eyed one in the family, which was weird because that doesn't usually come like this.
Yeah.
Um, uh, my mother and it was frustrating for her because I was so buzzy all the time. I just wanted to hug her all the time, and I guess I repeated that mother love that I wanted in my children. That's
Yes.
how I healed myself, what I missed. Yeah.
Yeah, the kids
This
kids are like the not the parents. They're raised with respect, but they have the parental figure amongst the whole group.
it's so true. The kids boss me around all the time.
Yeah, the kids have the parental figure,
I don't,
especially the girl. The one girl I see very strongly.
yeah.
Um,
Would be the eldest in our family. Her name's Jem. Her name is they also named the new great museum of Egypt after Jem. Her name it's Jem.
wow, so
So
interesting.
once so I got the coordinates of the architecture of this new museum. It drew a map for me through all of Egypt, to Sudan, Naburu, and down to Africa. It showed me all the diamond locations. It showed me secret base imprints in the sand, and it's the same ones that are on Mars.
Wow, incredible.
And it's all connected to the Whale Museum in Egypt. The Great Whale Museum in Egypt is actually on land, and you can go and walk through all the bones. It's beautiful. I haven't been there. I'm the only one in my family that has not been to Egypt.
That's so interesting.
They won't let me go yet. They don't want me there yet.
Who says that? It's a woman. A woman. I hear
Um,
a woman. Initially, when I
yeah, it's
okay,
probably Neff.
okay, when I opened up your records initially, there's a strong female protecting you. and doesn't
Mm.
want anybody to
That's
get near you. And so that triangle
mm,
that I saw is you sitting in that triangle, like in the pyramid, being protected by a woman warrior.
mm,
And then the interesting thing is, after that picture, I also see you as a child with one of your fingers, one of the tips of your fingers is more rounded in touching, making a communication with another finger above.
huh,
That's the imagery that
um,
comes. Yeah.
well, this is so the hieroglyphs in Gosford glyphs in Australia here. There's the main ones, and then there's the ones that we were at as well, which are called the beginning place. It's not in the public, but it's documented. But we spent 6 years, and this is where the children, first batch of the children were conceived. We used to go motorbiking here, and I would go for bushwalks, and all the rock carvings by the space beings. I would do what the African elephant would do is, and the indigenous here, is you run your hand through the uh, carvings. This gives them longevity. This is why all the parks, national parks around the world, close them off and say that you can't touch them, because every time the indigenous people would touch it, it preserves it. This is what the elephants would do with all the ancient bones. They would go back and see all their relatives, and they run their trunk over the bones, because when they touch it, they remember who they are. They remember who they are. They remember where they're from. They remember, and it's a sign of appreciation and love, and training the young as well.
When
So
you,
this pointing
yeah, yeah.
is me, because this is what I did with the children. So I was very pregnant for these first 6 years. So I would have these young children, they would all do it, and they copy me. So Richard's off riding on the motorbike, and I've got the dogs. We're in this bushland in the middle of nowhere, and these huge boulders. They're like giant rock in America, these type size, and we would
Yeah.
climb up, and there'd be carvings of spaceships or Egyptian hieroglyphs there. But we didn't know this at the time. We just did it because they were pretty, and we showed the children. We'd put flowers on them, and we only found out 10 years later
Wow.
that it's called the beginning place. The day that I went here, on the 19th of June, uh, such a crazy time, June. We ran over our little white dog in our car. Anyway, for some reason, our dog changed course and went under the back wheel. That was the day that Max left and Gemma came into my tummy, the conception day. 2 days later, I was very depressed for a week because I'd run over our dog and he passed. But I was also pregnant. I didn't know. And Richard said, I can't leave you at home. You're too sad. You have to come with me to this motorbike location. This was the place that we went, the beginning place. This beginning place, the day that we went there was I think the 21st or 22nd. So now we're talking the solstice. It was a total eclipse on this day.
Crazy.
So the first day we go to this location, it's a total eclipse. When you look back at all these things, you realize that there is great purpose. There is no randoms. You meet people exactly when you're meant to meet them, for however you're meant to meet them. And I'm so amazed that you picked up on the cow and my father pointing at the stars, because this is the only thing that he would talk about with the pyramids. He didn't talk about the pharaohs. He didn't talk about anything. He just said they mapped it from the stars. where the pyramid points are, everything has purpose and it's mapped from the stars. This was common knowledge in Egypt. This is the only contact he told me about Egypt. When I saw these 3 cows, I'm digging in the garden. This is just normal stuff. I dig up a square blue rock. I'm going to take a photo and send it to you. It's square,
Yeah, yeah. It's blue. I saw blue. Interesting. I
but
saw blue. A blue
it's
something.
blue. It's
Yeah.
blue. They show me that the triangle of Bermuda is out of alignment, what they've drawn to confuse us, because they never give us the full truth. They only give us and they showed me the triangle is, they showed me the map of it. And this is where you have had all those storms
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the eclipse. It follows the exact line of the true Bermuda is mu.
What does that mean?
It's mu.
No.
Bermuda. It's seaman. Bermuda in ancient text means seaman or merman.
Oh, semen. Oh, wow.
Mooman. Mooman. Moo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Back to this is how they refer to us as beings here. When we first started, we were crustaceans. There was 3. There were the vertebrates, the bacteria, and then the octopus type ones. These were the 3.
Yeah,
Luca. They were the 3 here, and we're the brays. We're the vertebrate ones. This is why we can connect with the whales and because we're all brays. We're the spine, the 2 tails,
right,
2
right.
streams. So everyone thinks when they see the horn of a crescent, they think evil. They keep going through history. It's the tails. It's the 2 piercings. It's the 1-1s. So
Yeah.
it's one end of the tail and the other end, and you need to have both open so you can.
Connect.
Wow, this is just spilling out of me today. What happened?
Yeah, it's when you speak.
Is this what happens to other people?
No, people just sit and listen. But this is good because you're able to express, go deeper into what I'm saying, which is good.
It's like you turned, there's a few of these to turn they showed me, but they're showing me, they show me a key, key. They show me you turned a notch so I can pull all this really quickly now. They're actually showing me I can twist it, and now I'm pulling it together quickly because some of this information I've been sitting with for a long time, and some of it only just happened. So now I can create with it.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you were talking, a Native American family also is like greets you. The father, you're young, but they still have respect for you as a young girl walking by them into this cave, into this teepee, or into this clay house, this clay uh, I don't know, passageway.
Kokopelli.
And so yes, so I don't know, but anyway, I
Is he
see.
weird looking? Because he's got a hunchback kind of thing.
Who's that?
Kokopelli. Kokopelli is the blue hoppy. He's the ant being
The
in
Hopi
America.
Indian.
Yeah, and they go before the Hopi. The Hopi,
That's true. That's so interesting, especially
yeah,
from that vision. But that's interesting that they show that. It's like a grandfather that greets to you and they show respect for you as you walk by. But you're too young to understand it at that point. But this is imagery. Desert.
they want me to. Well, they've always kept me quite playful with the information, and always to be able to smile with it in a naive sense. And a lot of people felt that because it was naive, that it wasn't true. So that's fine. But they had to wait till now because now they're becoming so desperate that anything that seems stable, they will naturally become drawn to, because they're so they're spinning, and then they'll spin out and spin out, and you know what I mean. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
spinning.
yeah.
It's not that the spin has to be controlled, but the spin is having like these, they're getting like loose wires, and so they, anyone now that seems stable, they will be drawn to. Their soul will be drawn to, because their soul's had enough of this.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether they have, it does, some of them, they haven't had enough, but their soul has, and this is where disease kicks in, because it's saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this.
Absolutely.
I'm more kind. I'm mankind. This word kind, species, this is what we are. We're soft. We're we're mollusks. We're the soft lactating ones. We're the wet ones, they call us, the four humours. And we're the wet ones, and we can hold all these codes in us. So we're mankind, so we're meant to be kind. We're not meant to be this. This was just a this was just a few cycles that had to be like this. Had to go this hard so that we would. There's something about they wanted us to completely go to the worst spot of us to come back from this, see if we can come back from this. And he showed me that how fine it was, how it was a near miss, like the pyramid accuracy. It was so close to not being this where we are now.
Wow. It's interesting. When you speak,
You
your
show me
daughter,
a lot of black.
yeah, your daughter, one of your children has the capacity to know the weather very well, or storms that are coming. It, and it appears there is a storm coming, a windstorm or some type of circular spin coming near, or it was something that was a lot of winds picking up in the area, in that area.
So this wind could also be our breath is creating like a butterfly effect. This child is Gidget. Gidget's our meter one. She's like a meter. This is what the stars showed us. They said she's like a meter, and she can she lets us know. It warns us of things
Yeah,
coming. It's quite amazing. She loses it too. We have to get salt into her or water straight away, or her feet in water, because she'll collapse. It's very intense sometimes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
As she's getting older, she's handling it better. Interesting, all the energies coming through at the moment with the solar flares, but you can see her eye shift before a big solar flare comes in. So we know, you look at her and you just know.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're seeing their gifts. Well, we call them gifts, but everyone has these.
Yeah, 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 yes, yes,
You're seeing the essence of the characters in my family through this reading. So you're
yes,
seeing my parents. You're seeing my contact through USA, Coco Pelli. Can you see how many realms you're jumping around in? Can you see why I wanted you to have a crystal now? Because I feel like you're safe there, but like it's a lot of realms, right?
yeah, I feel it.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, you're handling it really well. I think it's also because you were around the young buzzy ones that it's like you're the teacher, but they're really training you. for this moment now. Those children, all the ones you've taught,
Right.
their ways and where they were in their age, in their cycles, have taught you to be now able to do this for others.
Yeah, that's
It's showing me you walking very slowly.
me.
You have yeah. They so the visions I have of you are there, you're in the other land, the other realm. You're one of the ones that knows that quite possibly could be running at the same time. Meaning how malleable both realms are. Not many people accept it or understand it because they think of it as his story. I always laugh at this word, his story. They show me it's not his story, and I haven't spoken about this much either, but it's prayer or remote viewing. You walk into it. So as you're doing it in this realm, it's also happening in that realm. And they can write the history books from remote viewing.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no such thing as history. History is literally a story. It's not history. So if you know what's coming or have visions of what's coming and you know other galactic information, meaning if you're higher up, you can really write what you want to happen. Can you see how they do this?
Yes, yes.
Very clever. It's a very hard one to explain to us humans though, because it throws time into a
Well, I do have the capacity to go to remote view, so I've remote viewed past life experience recently, and so that's one of the
but
things.
there's no such thing.
Okay, so I'm rewriting the
So
story right
you're
now.
running all together.
Yeah,
So they're showing me your feet and my feet walking together, and you're asking me if I'm okay with it, but you're not talking to Neff. You're asking me. So how is it? I've never had this before. So I can see your feet and pretty feet. I always call it pretty feet. So I see your feet walking, but you're talking to me, not her. This is you being out of it, right?
yeah. Well, that's the yeah.
You're very like in this other realm though, you're quite sacred. You wouldn't talk to public. You'd only talk to the high up ones. But you were very understanding and loved by, a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do have that recollection in some capacity of what you just said. Yeah,
A lot of kids playing and herbs, and we're just walking through the temple's vegetable garden, I guess. And you smell the sweet frangipani, and this is what's called you to ask if I'm okay with all this. This is a show of the blue, the light, the
yes,
love.
yes,
This
yes.
is what this show is about. This show is our family. This show
Right.
is very personal and caring. It's
Yes.
not circus.
But
So
if I may say, well, what I get is you wouldn't be allowed to do it any other way but authentic, as opposed to being a circus, because your energy or the protection that you have would ruin something if it wasn't meant for the highest good of the what it was supposed to be.
yeah, to fail.
Yeah, it would fail. It would fail.
Mm. Thank you for that confirmation.
and it would dilute your reputation and dilute the intention of you making the story or what it would be for,
Mm.
because such a deep and insightful experience that it has to be that energy, the people who value it just as much as you would at least value it,
We're not in denial of the information. I
right?
love this word, denial. But we're not in competition of it either. So there's no competition for us with this. We're just assisting as many as possible.
Yeah,
And, meet people like yourself who are amazing because you're sounding boards for each other. And we assist each other to lift
yeah,
others.
absolutely.
And it's not about competition. And it doesn't have that frequency to it. So
You've risen to a higher level that it wouldn't resonate any longer at all. You've put in a different
mm,
place, like in another category of your existence. All of the whole family, everyone. The children want to hang on a
well,
little bit to the earthly experience, but I see, but I see it's like a ladder. They're holding on to a ladder that's going up. So it's hard to keep from being grounded, but also not. It's easier to maintain the earth, the universal connection, as opposed to this to the humanly connection. It's easy. That energy is spiraled up, so it's spun so highly up. Um, and I see one of the boys
yeah.
saying, why are we doing this? Like in other words, it's like too much. Not too much. It's just it's
Mm.
annoying to him after a while. Um,
Yeah, they wanna know why is it necessary?
yeah, I
Why
understand.
is it necessary? And
It's because of you.
the reasons it's necessary is that they've showed myself and the family that it does great things.
Yeah.
This our son who was missing for 3 years, we didn't know if he was alive, the eldest son.
Oh,
Our other son has a car accident. Anyway, long story short, we have to go down and pick up his car. And it was probably one of the last locations we heard he was alive. Our other sons, we got two sons. So the younger son, we go down and we have to pass where he first son lives, maybe. And we went down, and then as we came back, we did some groundings at some locations, weird locations too. Mapping works weird because sometimes you just go there and it just looks like a dump, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Or we were under a bridge at one of these locations, and the kids are like, "Why are we here?" And I said, "This has great energy here, so we're going to just do something here." Anyway, so sometimes it's just simple words or putting a crystal there, just simple things, putting a little stone. Anyway, so we put something there. 2 weeks later, on Valentine's Day this year, we get a phone call from Jack. We haven't heard from him for 3 years.
Wow.
He tells us to come pick him up. Anyway, he said, meet me at this location. It was one of the locations that I put a stone. It's not on a map. There's no shops here. It's just
Yeah.
this and I looked at Richard. I said, 2 weeks. 2 weeks since we put it there. The energy made him go to this spot. We pick him up. He's now living with us. And today is 4 months. He's been home today.
Wow.
This is powerful stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely.
And this
Absolutely.
is what you're doing as well. But the more I do it, the more you do it, the more others do it, it just becomes like contagious.
Well, it's invigorating to be able to share information that that plays in the background and is able to, it's relatable, or not. I don't have the experiences that you have, but the experiences that you have are so interesting to listen to and to hear the inspiration behind them. To know that we're more than just this body on this earth. We just living this daily drudge of life and these interactions
Yeah.
with these experiences.
I don't know if I did it right for you or if I don't know. I didn't ask enough questions, but
No, you asked the right amount of questions because that's what resonated for you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep saying though, that you keep, so imagine these two people, so a version of you and this other Egyptian type woman walking, and then this gentleman here is looking back and talking to me.
Yeah. So interesting.
So, so I'm the third person. The three.
Yeah, I saw the walking part. I absolutely did. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
you're actually, but you've recognized me.
I know. I know.
So normally it's only her, but
Yeah. No, I do. I knew that. I knew that before. I actually. That's exactly what. Yeah. Absolutely. What's
it's so
interesting is,
cool.
you know,
That's what I mean. I never know what's gonna.
what's interesting is months ago I had a dream of a ship that came over my house. Um, and the lights were pink and blue, flashing, and there were two moons or two suns in the sky in the dream. Uh, so I looked up into the sky and I said, "What is that? Two moons? Two? They look like two moons, two suns. It was the evening, so it must have been moons, but it could have been two suns." And everybody said, "Get inside, get inside, get inside," and I wouldn't go inside because all the people that I was surrounded with over the last couple of years were in denial of what was happening in the country and everything else. But I went out. And then a ship came overhead. And when a ship came overhead, the woman said, "Hello, Adam. Hello, Adam," in a woman's voice. Uh, and was friendly and peaceful. And it took off. And then I had a vision of ships, red ships, flying overhead, maybe 10 or 20 of them. And I said to
Oh,
them,
we've had.
yeah,
They're
they were like
infrared.
pitchfork shaped red.
Yeah, yeah. We had these before the big flood here.
Yeah,
We had a fleet of them, and we had a whole.
it was a fleet.
They were chasing. They were chasing one white light off, and then they went over us. It was like Air Force. We thought it was the Air Force, but they were red. They were
Red,
like
ultra red,
ultraviolet. Yeah, red.
red.
And they were low.
Yeah,
No turbulence though. So low, but no turbulence. But we could hear them. We could hear the hum of
yeah,
them, but there was no turbulence, none. Like normally at airports, because we've shot at a lot of airports for fashion shoots.
right,
Normally you're always getting sucked up.
right.
You know, the hair's always a problem, the outfit's a problem, and
Yes,
so but anyway, these so you've had them as well, and you
yeah.
had about what, 10 or 20?
In that dream, there was about 10 to 20 red flying overhead in a dream. Then there was a blue light, a big
They
blue
keep saying
wall.
it's not a dream. It's not a dream.
No, probably not. No, I didn't
They're
because
saying it's not a dream. They're not they're not part of us. They're another uh species, but they're in alliance. There's many that are in alliance with this.
okay,
Alliance is the alliance is the ones, the all eyes in a line. That's what it is. The ones that see the blue light, because there's many that don't
yeah. Well, the,
see the blue light, and the blue light is really the white light. Blue and white get mixed up in our texts a lot.
so I had when I drove by the app. Okay, you'll tell me. You'll tell me what you had, what you get.
It's just the cones in our eyes. Some people had cone. See, this being walking with the other lady, they can see it. They cones in their eye could see blue then, but all the other townspeople can't see because they can only see red, white, black, yellow.
Okay,
They can't see blue yet. They're not evolved to see. But now, this is what the blue Hopies speak about now, is the blue ones, which is all of us,
yeah.
because we can all see blue now. Blue is the greatest magic trick, by the way, because it's optical illusion. Because you can't, there's the ores that create blue, but every other creature that creates blue, it's a magic trick. So the blue in a peacock is an optical illusion.
Well, I saw a
It's the
blue,
way they,
I saw a big blue orb. I was by the airport.
yeah.
The same year I saw a disc came overhead by me. And that winter over the airport, it looked like in the middle of winter, a Roman candle, a blue Roman candle, like 100 feet above my car, exploded. Big blue
To go
explosion.
up or just
No, it
explode?
went right across and exploded right over my car. Blue.
Because we just had this happen when Jack came home and they were driving. It was early morning to go fishing, and they had a huge blue orb. They thought it was some big truck coming with headlights on, and they were ready to swerve off the road. And it came down the road and then did the same thing you said. But this only just happened when Jack came home. And what's interesting is there's a quarry on one hill and a quarry on the other hill, and they were between the two quarries. They love quarries because of the crystals there.
Wow, wow, wow. This was the airport where the dog is thrown
Yeah,
up here. Okay.
the airports. So the airports, they put airports on a lot of sacred sites. Airports and sewage treatment plants and rubbish disposal tips. You take all your, rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
These three things are because they know that humans won't want to go there. It's very clever, right? You
Yeah,
don't want to hang out around an airport because of the fuel and the noise
fumes.
and the smell. These are
Yeah, yeah.
sacred sites. They just plonk them on there. They know.
Holy grounds.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so this airport, you had the blue orb, and we've just had it as well. So they keep saying they're coming. This is what our kids are doing. They're saying exactly what you said. They're hanging on to the human. Still got a bit more to unfold first.
Digestion.
Ah,
Di- di-
digest
Digest.
is two spirit.
Yeah, so there you go. That's it. Digest.
Do do spirit, yeah.
It's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
So
this is,
we've done this before. I feel like we've done this many times
yeah,
before. It's just now we're acknowledging it. So it's very comfortable feeling.
me too. Same.
Yeah. It feels buzzy but comfortable
Yeah,
and calm. Feels calm.
me too. Same as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I've never done one of these before.
Oh,
Um it's quite galactic, I have to say. I wasn't expecting so many realms. Usually some people when they speak it's only one, but you were like, but that's because you can go on the outskirts
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
and come back in. So you can do it easy, it doesn't seem to hurt your avatar. A lot of people would it hurts them because they go into their memory, whereas because you just pull out and then come back in. That's why I'm saying this is a great practice. I mean, the whole thing's weird. The whole thing's weird because I'm so plain Jane. Seriously, I'm so normal, and then all this happens, and because I'm so um playful and naive with it, it's and childlike, I guess. It just doesn't have all the heaviness attached to it.
Yeah, but you're very shrewd as well. Your shrewdness and your you have
Yeah,
the ability to see beyond. But that's just the mask of it. The shrewdness part is comes
yeah,
out back here behind the scenes, and so that's the
yeah.
strength. That's the power behind it all.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm blown away, just blown away. It's a great birthday gift, so thank you so much.
Well, happy birthday to you and a beautiful year ahead, and to you and your whole family together. That you should have peace, health, and happiness with one another. Interesting.
Quite unusual. Yeah. Thank you
All
for
right.
this.
So
This is
I'm,
beautiful.
it was beautiful. I have to close your records. The energy of it has to go back to you. So I say a little prayer where I thank your masters and teachers and your guides for giving me this opportunity to share this time with you and the energy with you. And God bless and amen. Back to you.